I thought I'd found love when I met Sean. He was charming, with a smile that made my heart skip. His family was so kind to me before we got married. I was a manager at a tech company, earning good money, and I loved spoiling them. I'd buy his mom fancy scarves, his dad new tools, and his sister, Lisa, cute dresses. I even gave his parents cash when they needed it, thinking it was my way to show I cared. They'd hug me, call me their daughter, and I felt like I belonged. A year ago, we tied the knot. The wedding was beautiful. There were flowers everywhere, music, laughter. I was so happy, thinking this was my forever. But things changed fast. A month after the wedding, Sean sat me down.
You don't need to work anymore, Mara. I make enough. Stay home. Be my wife.
I can't do that, Sean. I love my job. It's not just about money. It's who I am. We fought for days. His voice got louder, his words sharper, until I gave in. I quit my job, thinking I was doing it for us. I wanted to please my husband. I missed my office, my team, the buzz of solving problems. But I told myself I'd adjust. All because I wanted my husband to be happy. But of course, it never ends at the first one. Barely 2 months later, Sean dropped another bomb.
We're moving to my parents' house. It's better for us, saves money.
What? You shouldn't have made me quit my job if you were low on money. Why would you suggest this, out of all options? If the rent for this place is expensive, why can't we get a smaller house?
Well, I do not want to live in a small house. My parents' house is big enough. It's best we go there.
No, I don't want to live with your family, Sean. We need our own space.
I'm the man of this house. How dare you argue with me? We're going there, and that's final. What kind of a wife are you if you can't even be supportive to your husband?
You know I'm always supportive. But this one? I can't be, Sean. I can't live there. It'd be so uncomfortable. Aren't you even thinking?
Why don't you help me think, since I've now lost my senses?
You know that's not what I meant.
Just shut up.
We argued for weeks, but Sean wouldn't budge. When it got too much, he said it was temporary, just to get on our feet. When I heard that, I gave in. For the second time, I displeased myself for him to be pleased. I nearly cried my eyes out the night before we moved. The next morning, Sean saw my swollen eyes, but he didn't even pretend to care. That day, I packed my life into boxes and moving into his parents' cramped house. That's when everything fell apart. The kindness I'd known was gone. His mom, Carol, and dad, Jim, turned cold. His sister Lisa, who was 24, jobless, and still living at home, looked at me with disgust every time I walked by. They treated me like I was a hired help, not family.
Mara, scrub the floors today, and don't miss the corners.
Cook something decent for once. We're tired of your bland food.
My room's a mess. Clean it before dinner.
I did everything. I washed dishes, swept floors, cooked meals, and folded laundry. My hands were raw, my back ached, but they never stopped piling on chores. If I slowed down, they'd snap.
You're so lazy, Mara. Can't you do anything right?
Ugh, you missed a spot. Do it again.
You would think Sean wasn't aware of all of this, but he was. He watched it all happen, never stepping in to support me and stop his family. Sometimes when Lisa or his mother insults me, he'd laugh like it was all a joke. I felt trapped, like I was shrinking into someone I didn't know. When I found out I was pregnant, I thought things might change. Maybe they'd ease up and see me as more than their servant. But I was wrong. The chores didn't stop, even as my belly grew. I washed everyone's clothes by hand, including Lisa's piles of dirty shirts, while she lounged on the couch. I knelt down to scrub the floors with my heavy stomach. One day, I was so stressed after washing. I wanted to rest, but I couldn't because I still had to cook. Unfortunately, after I served the food, they found a long hair in the soup. I'd forgotten to wear my cooking cap. Without even giving me a chance to explain or forgiving me, Carol grabbed scissors and stormed over.
Your filthy hair's ruining our food, Mara. I can't let that repeat itself. Stay still.
I knew what she was about to do. I begged her desperately, even on my knees, but she refused to listen. She hacked my hair off, leaving it short and uneven. I stood there, tears burning my eyes, my heart breaking as they laughed.
Looks better this way. Maybe now you'll keep things clean.
You look like a boy. So ugly.
When Sean returned, I told him. I expected him to do something. I was his wife, and his mother cut off my hair over a mistake. I thought he was going to finally get angry and put his family in their place. Instead, he laughed.
Relax, Mara, it's just hair. Stop being dramatic.
I stared at my reflection that night, and I barely recognized myself. My nice clothes were gone, replaced with old, stained ones. I couldn't afford the salon anymore, and now my hair was a mess. I felt like nothing. At 7 months pregnant, the stress broke me. My body couldn't take it anymore. I was scrubbing the floors one day when a sharp pain hit me. I screamed for help, but no one came. They were all at home, but they refused to help me. I pulled myself up and rushed to the hospital. By the time I managed to reach, it was too late. I fainted immediately I walked in. By the time I woke up, I realized I'd lost my baby. The doctor said it was stress. My body pushed past its limit. Only Sean came to the hospital. He refused to speak to me. When I returned home, I fell into a dark place. I was barely eating or even sleeping. All I could feel was the emptiness where my baby should have been. Sean's family didn't care. In fact, they blamed me.
You couldn't even keep a baby alive. What kind of woman are you? You're useless, Mara. No wonder it happened.
You should have been stronger. All you do is the little chores at home, and your weak body couldn't add a child to it.
This is on you. Maybe it's better. You'd probably be a terrible mom.
Their words were like hard punches to my face, every day, every hour. I'd curl up in bed, crying, while they shouted through the door.
Get up and cook, Mara. We're not your maids.
I couldn't take it anymore. One night, when they were asleep, I ran away. I didn't pack, didn't take a thing, just a few of my shoes and the clothes on my back. I wandered the streets, cold and lost, sleeping on benches for 2 days. My stomach growled from hunger, my body shook, but I didn't care. Anything was better than that house. On the third day, a man saw me shivering outside a cafe. His name was Dean, and he had kind eyes.
Hey, you okay? You don't look so good. Come with me. I'll get you some food.
I don't know you. Why would you help me?
Because you look like you need it. No strings attached.
Dean took me to his apartment. He gave me soup, bought me new clothes, and even paid for a therapist to help me sort through the pain when I told him about everything that has happened since I got married. For the first time in months, I felt human again. Dean didn't ask for anything, just listened when I was ready to talk. He was angry for me, but he stayed calm, helping me rebuild step by step. Weeks passed, and I started to feel like myself again. My therapist helped me see that I wasn't broken, I was just hurt. Dean was there every day, cooking dinner, cracking jokes, making me smile. One night, over coffee, Dean asked me what Sean did for work. I told him he was a sales rep and mentioned the company's name. My jaw dropped when Dean told me that was his company. Dean was Sean's boss. Apparently, Dean actually paid his workers well. He told me he even paid Sean extra when we got married to help Sean navigate marriage life easily. Sean never told me that. I was angry all over again. I needed them to pay for what they did. I asked Dean if he could fire Sean. If Sean lost his job, it would be a big hit to his family because they depend on him. Dean said that's a big move and asked if I was sure. I laughed. Of course I am. Those people treated me like garbage. They made me lose my baby. I want them to feel what it's like to lose everything. Dean agreed to grant my request. Later, I learned that he didn't just fire Sean. He made sure that Sean didn't leave with any recommendation letter. In fact, he paid people to spread rumors about Sean to different companies. Dean also told his business partners to not hire Sean if he came to their companies. Sean's reputation tanked. He searched for another job, but no one agreed to hire him. Without his job, his family's money dried up fast. They'd been living off his paycheck and my savings from before. Now they had nothing. I filed for divorce, and when the papers came, Sean showed up at Dean's place, begging.
Mara, please, I'm sorry. I messed up. Take me back. We can fix this.
You're a bastard, Sean. You laughed when they cut my hair. You blamed me for losing our baby. You're nothing to me now. When he tried to touch me, I slapped him hard, pushed him out, and slammed the door in his face. He stood there, shouting and begging, but I didn't open it again. The divorce went through clean, and I was free. Sean's family fell apart. Carol and Jim lost their house when they couldn't pay the mortgage. Debt collectors came for their car, their furniture, everything. Lisa, who never worked a day in her life, had to take a job cleaning houses. Ironic, considering how she'd made me scrub hers. I heard they fought all the time now, blaming each other for their mess. Carol cried to neighbors about how they'd lost everything, but no one cared. They'd made their bed, and they would lie in it. One day, I saw Carol at the grocery store, looking so worn out, her fancy scarves were gone. She spotted me and tried to apologize.
Mara, we didn't mean it. We were wrong. Can we talk?
I pretended to not hear her and brushed past her while covering my nose. Jim tried calling once, but I blocked him. They didn't deserve my forgiveness. Dean and I grew closer. He was everything Sean wasn't. A year after I left, he proposed, and I said yes. His family welcomed me like I was their own. His mom baked me cakes, his dad told me stories, and his little brother called me sister. They treated me like a princess, always checking if I was okay, always making me feel loved. Dean got me a job as a manager of a good company. I only had to show up twice a week. The rest of the days, I spent them chilling or shopping or anything else that made me happy. 1 year after our marriage, I gave birth to a set of twins. Dean's family gifted me a mansion, and Dean gifted me a yacht as my push gift. Then came a twist I never saw coming. One day, I received an anonymous tip in my email with old documents attached. At first, I thought it was spam, until I saw Sean's name. It was a DNA result from years ago. Sean was not Jim's biological son. I couldn't believe it. I confronted Dean, who quietly did some digging through one of his PI friends. It turned out Jim had always suspected it. He suspected Carol had cheated on him, but had no proof and never said a word. When the truth leaked, because of course I couldn't keep it to myself, it shattered what was left of their family. Carol spiraled into madness. She was seen walking barefoot in the neighborhood one morning, screaming at invisible people. Jim, humiliated and disgusted, abandoned the family completely. He moved out of state, leaving them penniless and broken. But I wasn't done. I wrote a memoir under a pen name, sharing my story, the cruelty, the haircutting, the baby I lost, and the abuse. I changed the names but dropped just enough hints that anyone who knew us would connect the dots. The book caught fire online. I was invited on talk shows, and the interviews went viral. Neighbors and old friends realized exactly who I was talking about. Sean's family became a laughingstock overnight. Their shame was public. People pointed fingers, doors slammed in their faces. Then karma came for Lisa. Turns out, she'd applied for a job using my name and credentials, hoping to get in where she couldn't on her own. Worse, she'd also stolen money from a wealthy widow during a short nanny job she'd picked up. When Dean and I caught wind, we exposed everything. Lisa was fired on the spot and arrested for fraud. Her mugshot was all over the news and social media. She was jailed for 4 months. When freed, she tried getting a job, but she was blacklisted from every decent job platform. No one wanted to hire her. She had to continue cleaning houses and even work at restaurants just to survive. The same kind of work she used to mock me for. Thanks for watching.